Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about The Ultimatum Season 2, Episode 1.
We got a new show for y'all, but before we get into it, I need y'all to subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I believe we can do it.
Yeah.
I believe we can do it. And I am very excited about this show because I missed the first season. The first time I ever heard about the show is when the reunion was supposed to be live and it failed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this show is pretty big. Everybody's into this show.
Wait, no. Love is Blind was the one that was live. Not The Ultimatum.
The Ultimatum wasn't one that was live?
Uh-uh.
Oh, so Love is Blind was the one that failed on the live show.
Yeah, but that should be coming soon, like this week.
Okay. So, like I said, I'm new to this. I'm not true to this.
Right.
But please help us with this show, Blair. What happened?
So, let's just go over what The Ultimatum is for Chris and people like Chris who've never watched it before.
Yeah, I never watched it.
So, one person in a couple gives their partner an ultimatum of, by the end of these 8 weeks, either we will be together, I will be with somebody new, or I'm off alone by myself.
Okay.
Because the goal is for us to get engaged by the end of this process.
Okay.
The one person in the relationship wants marriage, the other person does not. And the trick of the whole show, or the premise, is that you have to spend half of the time living with the person that you choose, who's in a different relationship, and then you spend the rest of the time back with the person that you came with. And then you have to come to a decision. Are you going to propose to the person or move on to the new relationship? Or, like I said,
leave.
Peace out to everybody. I'm done.
I got the premise.
Yes.
Okay.
So, moving on, we meet the couples.
Okay.
So, we are talking to Antonio and Roxanne. So, of course, Nick and Vanessa Lachey are our hosts. And we talk a little bit to all the couples. We first meet with Antonio and Roxanne. So Antonio is 31, Roxanne is 30, and they've been together for 4 years.
Okay.
And Antonio is the one who is giving the ultimatum.
Okay, Antonio.
Right.
The man's taking the initiative in this one.
Right. And Roxanne, she wants someone who works hard and is very ambitious, and Antonio is just not that. Roxanne has her own business. She's an entrepreneur, and that is really what she values, and she just can't see throwing marriage into this when she has so much positive going for her life and her career.
And this a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah.
So she's not even taking into account that, like, you know, my clock is basically getting to its prime years now.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I don't see it in the plans for me.
Right.
Okay, Roxanne, I see you.
Yeah. Then we have Lisa and Brian.
Okay.
And they've been together for 2 years. Lisa is 31 and Brian is 28.
Okay, these are my black couple right here.
Right.
Okay, shout out to the black people.
Absolutely.
What happened?
And so what happens is Lisa is the one who gives the ultimatum. And Brian, he's kind of stumbling over the reasons that he likes her. He says that she's careless at first, and then he says that he loves how she's selfless, and he wants them to really be in a good financial space before he proposes.
Hey, I love that excuse that men give to hold off to marrying somebody. I ain't got the money.
Yeah.
I love it.
Next, we have Ryan and James.
Okay.
They are the high school sweethearts, and they have been dating for 7 years. Ryan is 24, James is 23, and Ryan, the girl, is the one who is the ultimatum giver. And James just doesn't believe in a thing as true love, and he also wants to be in a better financial space before making that jump.
I tell you, when guys don't want to get married, boy, we throw in that financial thing in there with anything, and it works. But let's see.
Next, we have Raya and Trey, and they've been together for 2 years. Trey is 28 and Raya is 24. And in this situation, Trey, the guy, is the ultimatum giver.
Oh, shout out to my black people.
Yeah, he says they already live together, and his finances are stable, and his parents were together for over 30 years. He's ready for marriage at this point.
I like that.
She expresses that she's only seen situationships and divorce. She doesn't have a good outlook on marriage. And they talk about their first Valentine's Day where he had rose petals and candles and made a really romantic scene. And her response to it was, oh, it doesn't look like the TikTok videos.
I'll tell you this right now, Raya, you on my enemy list #1. This is not even 30 minutes into the show. This is like 15, 20 minutes, whatever, how long it was. And I'm automatically like, you're immature.
Yeah, that was really immature.
You are immature. This guy, you live with the guy. Let's not say we live together.
Yeah.
You live with the guy, you know, and he did all these things. And I think it was said, like, once he did that, he was like, he didn't do nothing else to, like, that stature no more because he was let down.
Yeah.
And basically her whole thing that she was saying in her whole get up was, like, we need to date and we need to do things. But when he did do something for you, you compared him to a superficial TikTok that is staged.
Yeah.
That somebody set up their ring light that like that they just basically get y'all to fall into this trap.
Yeah.
That's not right? The way you did my man Trey, that's not right.
And she's saying that she's still trying to figure out her life and career. She's just not settled. She doesn't know what she wants to do, and she just can't make that decision on Trey.
She don't like you, boy.
And Raya, she also expresses that she wonders if there's a soulmate out there for her. Clearly not.
Not Trey.
Trey.
Not Trey. Sorry, Trey.
Right. We have Kat and Alex who've been together for 2 years. Alex is 31. I didn't get Kat's age.
Okay.
But they've been together for 2 years, and Kat is the one who gives the ultimatum. And their relationship is pretty much just fun-loving, adventure-seeking people. And he is saying that he just hasn't had the time to propose. They've just been having too much fun running all around the world doing whatever they do.
I need to try that excuse next time.
No time.
Are we having too much fun right now? Like, listen here, man. These excuses, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Go ahead.
And Alex is asking, well, what makes you so sure? And Kat says, you're my best friend and the love of my life, and that's why I know.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Alex is saying he's not ready. He's a very logical, practical person, and it's just hard for them both to express themselves emotionally, and that's their issue is communication.
That's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
Next, we move on to Raya and Trey. And Raya expresses that there's more they need to work on. She's, like she said, she's still getting her life together. She thinks that he should be more emotionally available, and everything is all about him and his job and what he has to do every day.
Now, let's hold on before you keep reading.
Yeah.
He was the one who gave the ultimatum. Why are you telling me what's wrong with me?
Well, they're trying to figure out, well, why aren't you ready for marriage with Trey? And these are all the reasons, because he has a job and he has to go to work, and he talked about what he got to do.
So basically, this is why I can't marry you. I'm homeless, I'm broke, and we got things we need to work on. No, you got things you need to work on.
Yeah.
Because you said that she's not financially set in her career. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
Right? And the things like what else? What is the next thing you said?
He needs to be more emotional.
You turn him down. You turn him down.
And he said he'll try again. He said he'll try.
Listen here. This guy is willing to look past your faults or the things that you feel like is holding you back. He's willing to look past it.
Yeah.
And he's like, why can't we work on this while we're like engaged or married? Like I'm not trying to snap a finger and things be fixed. I'm investing in you. I'm not trying to invest in your circumstance. Listen here, man, Trey. These are red flags, man.
Yeah.
These are red flags that I'm seeing off of Riot. And I'm not just saying, well, yes, I am. I'm lying. I'm saying it strictly off the TikTok video.
But also she said that she wanted butterflies in her relationship.
Say it again? She
wants butterflies again.
Oh, yeah. She wants butterflies.
Yeah.
Don't fall for that.
Yeah.
This is not a Disney movie. You cannot approach a deer and feed it cherries off a tree. The deer would kick you dead in the face. Okay? This butterflies and this idea that, like, she don't like you, Trey. That's why she's trying to hold on to these fantasy feelings.
She's pulling everything out from thin air.
Exactly. Like,
of whatever reason she could find to not be with you.
She says she don't feel butterflies. Love is a fact. You get what I'm saying? It's not butterflies. It's not a Pokemon. You get what I'm saying? It's not these things that we try to compare it to creatures and things like that. And I'm like, how How are you telling him what's wrong with him when he's the one that gave you the ultimatum and all these things you need to fix first?
Yeah, these are your personal problems.
Yes.
Yeah. And Trey is expressing that he wants to be able to take care of her.
Yes.
That he can afford to take care of somebody.
Yes.
And she's saying, I want to take care of myself. So what is the point of living with him and having a partner to support you if you want to do it all alone?
Oh, no.
Just do it all alone.
I ain't say I want to be homeless now. I
do it. Go ahead.
No.
Do it yourself.
I ain't say I want the responsibility of a household. You can take care of me, but I want to take care of myself. Mm-hmm. Do you see how she's talking out of both sides of her neck and stuff like that? I want to take care of myself, but give me your house key.
Yeah.
He like, she even brought out the fact that she said that, I think he mentioned it. She said she's not in the career that she wants to be in. Mm-hmm. And he said, you already have your dream car.
Yeah.
You're
getting things that you want.
I think you're further along than you're giving yourself credit for. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are not in their career at 23, 24.
Right.
I'm lucky enough at 28, I think you said he was, that, I would take on the burden for now of paying for you, taking care of you, being a good husband, a good fiance, while you, by the time you get to my age, maybe you have some things figured out.
Yeah.
But Raya just trying to find excuses to not be with Trey from what we've seen so far.
The next thing is she might wake up and not want to be married and might not want to have kids. And she's asking him, don't you want to have kids? Don't you want to have kids? I feel like she was trying to make him to say yes so she could be like, well, yeah, I don't. So that's the end of that. But he said, it's something that we could talk about, but that's not my first priority. Exactly. I'm just trying to focus on if we even want to be together.
Exactly, man.
So, yeah. It was a lot of back and forth and coming up with, to me, BS about random things of why she don't want to be with him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And he's like, well, look, just tell me plainly, what do you need from me for you to be ready for me to marry you? For you to marry me?
Butterflies.
She said, I don't know.
Then why are we even having this conversation? just end the conversation, buddy.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And next we move on to Roxanne and Antonio, businesswoman. And she just thinks that maybe she just doesn't believe in marriage. She works all day and all night. And Antonio just does not have that drive. Mm-hmm. And Antonio is saying to her plainly, if you don't say yes by the end of this, then I'm gone.
Okay, big boy.
Next, we have Lisa and Brian.
Uh-huh.
And Brian, he's just trying to figure out what is going to change if we get married.
I love Brian, man.
We live together. We do everything together. What in our life is really going to change?
Aren't we having a good time? Mm-hmm. Why you want to ruin that with something new? You know what I mean? I understand, Brian.
And Lisa expresses, which I feel like are valid reasons, that she wants to get married before having kids.
Such as?
She wants to get married before having kids.
Okay.
So that is putting a barrier for her moving forward with certain things in her life because she wants to be married first. Even the fact that she wants to get a house, but they can't get a house together because they're not married. She doesn't want to get a house with them if they're not married.
Listen here. I think another thing that she pointed to, is it the age thing maybe? Because I think she's 3 years older than him.
Yeah, he's 28. She's 31.
So with her, which is kind of different than what Roxanne, even though Roxanne may be 30, I think you said.
Yeah.
Roxanne don't care about this nature clock that's on her life. She's like, I don't really see the point. It is what it is.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, there's certain things that a 31-year-old start investing in their future that you not really partnering up with me.
Yeah.
You basically saying we are together. What's going to change? Well, I hope we can change our address. I hope we can change our title. It's just not boyfriend, girlfriend, but, husband and wife, and maybe one day mother and father. You get what I'm saying? I understand her reasons, if I was to be honest.
Yeah.
But Brian don't gaslight, but he tricks you.
How?
Because he don't cut her off. He don't really you
don't really know what he's thinking half the time.
Cause he don't say anything.
No.
He don't say anything. He let her get it out. So in a way, if you don't really watch it, you kind of think he's being like an active listener, but really he's planning his next thing which is basically go get her to talk. So like with his thing, his questions is not. It's weird. His questions is not to get to a solution. It's just to go in a circle again. And
I can see that. Well, I'll put it like this.
Okay.
Brian isn't decisive, I feel like. I don't think he's very clear, and I don't think he wants to be. I think he wants to be as vague as possible.
Yeah.
To not rock the boat, but also to not have to stand on his word for anything. Because he didn't make a word about nothing.
Yeah.
Like he wants to be vague.
It's tricky. It's certain little... It's a tactic. It's not gaslighting, but it's something to where he may say something like he may ask the question. It's weird. He may ask the question like, "Why do you want to get married?" Mm-hmm. And she would list all these things, and then the last thing that she would say is something like, "I want to get a house with you," and then he would say something like, "How so?" But because
I'm not speaking to nothing that we talked about. Nothing.
It's like he's putting her in this maze
where she's chasing her own tail.
Yes,
and he's just like, I didn't say anything.
He said, I ain't listen here. What did I say to get you angry? So I'm like, good tactic. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not gaslighting, but it's definitely an indecisive, like you said, running in circles. You don't really know what he stands for. He ain't stated.
Yeah.
You really don't even know what he's against.
Right.
But he's not for something. You know what I mean?
But he won't tell you.
Exactly. He won't tell you. Exactly.
And yeah, Lisa, she's saying, look, I'm a 6-figure chick. I've got the finances. That's not something we have to worry about. And all Brian can really say is that he's surprised that some guys are issuing the ultimatum.
What did that got to do with anything? That's what I mean. Like he's not provoking her to anger. He's provoking her to confusion. Right. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe he's provoking us to confusion. Yeah. Because I be confused listening to Brian, but I'm like, I'm a guy, so I kind of just like get through it. Yeah. But I'm like, Brian, you don't want no solution at all. You don't want no solution at all. He didn't even give a reason of like the finances not right. He just basically just said like, why? Yeah. Yeah, man. Brian is a character, man.
Yeah. And she really wants to marry him, but she really does not want to waste her time.
Yeah.
And they go on to have a romantic night. They're kissing in the bed and, you know, having a good time. Mm-hmm. And 1 a.m., she is having a breakdown. She's having a meltdown.
She don't want to do this.
She want to go home. And it looked like she grabbing something off the nightstand. She get her keys together or something. She is ready to go.
Now, mind you, just to build the scene out a little bit more, this is the last night before they have to make the change with being with somebody else potentially. I think it was hitting her.
It was the night before they have to become exes.
Okay, yeah. The night before they break up.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I think it's hitting her because I think they just did it. Mm-hmm. That like, oh, this experience of being with somebody else for 3 weeks potentially I think it's starting to hit her in waves. Yeah. And she's having a breakdown in the middle of the night of how she don't want to do this and like, you know, and I can understand if like, cause she was the one that issued the ultimatum. Mm-hmm. But like, it seems fun to just try to bring your partner to the fire. Yeah. I'm not trying to burn you. I'm just trying to put a little fire on you.
Yeah, and be like, you could be missing me, and I could be doing such and such, but she ain't think that he could be doing his own thing too.
And I think it hit her at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's having a breakdown where she's crying, and Brian got to console her.
Yeah. They finally get through the night. 8 a.m. they wake up and eat breakfast and get to have a little bit of talk in the morning. And Brian's sentiments were basically like, look, you really just need to work on your reactions to me talking to other people. And was that
the best assurance?
I mean, that was just a prelude into what we were going to be seeing later. Yeah. He said, watch your reactions. And she said, my reactions are appropriate based off of what happened. So she feels justified.
I think she's a liar. There's some reactions that we seen that we gonna see that I'm like, I don't think that was equal to like the level. I don't think it called for that level. Right. But hey, listen here. He gave us a warning and she gave a warning back. Yeah. You know?
Saying she gonna do whatever she dang well please.
I feel you though.
So next we have Ryan and James, the high school sweethearts again. And Ryan is saying that she really wants an engagement ring at the end of this. And she cares about the commitment, but not about how the ring looks. Because he talks about how he'll get the stones from his grandma's ring, get it reset into a new ring for her, and making sure that it's nice. And she's like, I don't care about all that stuff. I just want the commitment.
Listen here. Go ahead and give me one of those silicone rings for all I care.
Right. So we get to the mixer. Everyone is exes. We're going on dates. We're talking and we're mingling with everybody. And we find out with Raya's conversation with Antonio that she works at Hooters. Lisa, she wants to...
No, don't skim past that.
She's a Hooters girl.
You have all these expectations. Now, granted, no disrespect to anybody who work at Hooters. No disrespect. No disrespect if you work in those type of jobs that you work for tips and things like that. My only issue with Raya is that you have all these expectations, but Trey is the one who not only bringing something to the table, but he is the table. But yet you got the nerve to put these expectations on him. And I understand that you did admit and say you want to get into your career and things of that nature. But to put these expectations on him and to make it seem like he need to fix some things when you're a Hooters girl, relax. You over here talking about it don't look like TikTok. You're a Hooters girl. You shouldn't be looking at TikTok for comparing your life to what TikTok is. You get what I'm saying? You are missing... You think the grass is greener on the other side, looking at what you want compared to what you have. You have somebody who's willing to marry a Hooters girl.
And build you up and let you figure out your career and take your time and whatever you need to do. And he'll support you fully.
You're a Hooters girl.
So
it's like, yeah, man, that's right. Like I said, you ain't right to me right now, but continue.
And Lisa, she goes in with the strategy. She wants to talk to the guys who've given the ultimatum because she feels like they know what they want, and she wants to talk to people who know what they want and have themselves together. She doesn't want to be wasting time.
That's Lisa's plan?
Yeah.
I feel like that's cold. I felt like if I give it to the ones, if I talk to the guys that gave the ultimatum, I know they love their partner and I love my partner. So we're not going to fall in love. It's not going to be a messy thing between us two.
Yeah.
And we kind of
keep a barrier.
We kind of keep a barrier of like, we going to keep it respectful because you really love your partner. I love my partner. And we could just be two peas in the pod of like how we going to get our partner to
act right. Yeah. So we also learned during this time that Roxanne owns her own company. She's a boss chick. And Brian, he is very attracted to Raya. Earlier in the episode, Raya says that, she was looking at Brian and Brian was looking good as well.
She said, Brian, get her hot. Trey said right next to her.
And when Brian and Raya were talking, Lisa was staring them down while she should have been talking to Antonio.
Wow, this all happened in episode 1?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Raya is expressing to Brian that she wants to go out on dates. Brian says that he can definitely do that. And they want to have open conversation and be able to talk to each other about anything. Next, James gets to talk to Raya, and they connect over the fact that they were both raised by single mothers.
Okay.
They kind of were left to fend for themselves in a way because Raya's mom was a pastor, so she had a lot of responsibility, or Reverend had a lot of responsibility, and James's mom was a truck driver and worked 80 hours and was really busy. And James says that Ryan is very closed off, and that is an issue that they have with being open in communication.
Okay.
Honestly, with that, I feel like Ryan might be closed off, but I don't feel like she might have started that way. I feel like
within the 7 or 6 years they've been together, she became that way.
Yeah, I feel like
it's like a survival.
Right. I think to me, just kind of how I see how James is coming across, and with Ryan, it just seems that way to me. Yeah.
I think it's too early for me to tell what they are.
Yeah.
Because you would ask, like, why won't he get married? Because they are the ones that have been together the longest.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they are the oldest.
Right.
So they're still pretty young compared
to
everybody.
youngest.
They're like 23, 24.
Yeah.
So it's like, even you said while watching it, like, do like we count high school years?
As like an adult relationship,
and maybe not. And maybe you can empathize with them or with James in a way of saying like, yeah, but we still young, you know.
And they really aren't established in any way.
Not that we know of. Not in the way like Roxanne is throwing it in our face and Trey and Lisa is.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they have. I really don't even know where they live.
They don't live together either.
She does sound. They both sound Southern. Well, he looks Southern and she sounds Southern.
Yeah.
So like you said, I don't know what the societal standards for them being in the South, as you brought up a couple times while watching it with me.
Yeah.
Of maybe like their friends is married. Maybe it's like a thing for them because they may live in the South that they should get married young.
Yeah, and people get married straight out of high school, start having kids young, and maybe that's the norm for them and who they hang around.
But so far, only thing I see is I don't really see the problem with them in episode 1 because I'm like they still kind of young and it's not as evident to me at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan and Trey, they have a brief conversation at the mixer where they both agree that they both gave the ultimatum to their partners, and Trey reveals that he's an engineer. And Lisa and Trey get to talking, and both of them are in the same boat of being ready for marriage and agreeing that they think that you can work on issues while you're still engaged or even while you're married.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait.
That's true.
To figure everything out.
I agree with that as well.
And with Antonio and Kat, we get a little bit deeper into conversation with them. And Antonio was saying that Roxanne is really sociable and it's really kind of hard for him to sit around and listen to her laugh and talk and chat with everybody.
Jealous.
But family is very important to both him and Kat, and they both want to have a family, a large family, a marriage and kids and everything. Yeah. And Kat, she brings up that she also wants to be heard in her relationship. So clearly that's something that's lacking with Alex.
Yeah.
But like her and Alex said, seems like they both have issues with communicating. So
I think they use the fun that they say they have to substitute talking and communicate about the real issues. Because you could feel down, about an issue and not talking about it. But if I take you to Six Flags every day,
no, I ain't thinking about it.
You're basically living your relationship on a high.
Yeah.
So, but when the high comes down, you're like, well, can we finally talk about this and what we gonna do and what our future look like? No, we going rock climbing tomorrow. So it's like
you gotta get some rest. Go to bed.
You're constantly living on a high, and I think eventually that high wears off, and you gotta start having tough conversations.
Yeah. Next, Alex and Roxanne are connecting, and Alex is in software sales. Roxanne was, again, talking about her business.
Yeah.
And Alex says that he had his own business in marketing. He ended up selling it because he really wasn't into it. Both of their parents have been together for a long time and were also entrepreneurs. And for Roxanne, her number one red flag is if somebody lacks ambition.
Roxanne, we don't know nothing about you, girl.
Yeah.
You just keep talking about your company and ambition. You love that word ambition.
And
girl.
Hustle in the work culture. And honestly, that's fair. That's your life. That's what you're into. But that does not translate into interpersonal relationships, especially romantically. So I know she's getting excited by talking to Alex and saying, oh, we're on the same wavelength. We're into the same things. Well, you could be best friends and be into the same things.
Exactly.
But where is that connection?
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. So the girls and the guys, they all meet at the bar later on, and they try to get a conversation started about who did they have the best dates with.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to answer, and the question comes back around to Lisa, who says it was pretty much Antonio, and then we get to Raya and saying that she really had a good time with Brian. Lisa was not feeling that.
Lisa got the little stink eye at her.
Yes, staring daggers. So Lisa pulls Brian to the side. She's saying, you know what's going on. And Brian's like, I actually don't know what's going on.
See? That's
what is happening?
Exactly.
And Lisa really just can't stand the thought of Brian connecting with someone else. And that they shouldn't have had to go to this extent of trying to connect with other people coming on this show to figure out if they can be married or
And
not.
Brian could be like, well, you brought me here.
Right.
like it's, but I never heard of something like this to where, like, she's the one that gave the ultimatum and she's like, I want out. Let's go.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to do this.
Yeah.
Listen here, she was trying to do everything she can to not get to the next part of the ultimatum. She's like, this is my last attempt.
Yeah. And Brian, he's really trying to convince her to stay and saying, look, this is my opportunity to show you that, you know, we could work out.
Yeah.
Like, this is really something that we need to do if we're saying that we're trying.
Facts.
So
I like that, Brian.
So Lisa, she is just breaking down, crying, going through it. And then Brian and Raya, they end up getting together for a very short one-on-one talk.
I'm sure they wanted it longer.
Right.
Yeah.
And Raya is expressing that she's open to getting to know other people. Of course, she brings up that she really enjoys romantic dates, calm nights, movies at the house is what she's into.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa is getting up, ready to head over there, and she actually bumps into Roxanne, and Roxanne tries to pull her to the side and talk a little bit of sense into her and saying, look, you got to let the process be the process.
Get off me, white woman.
And Lisa, she cannot help herself, and she storms right over, and she's talking to Raya. Raya didn't catch the hint soon enough that she needed to leave.
Nope.
And she tells Raya, you need to go talk to Trey.
Yeah. You need to talk to your guy.
Right. And Lisa tries to explain to Brian that, look, this girl don't even love her man. She don't love her man.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian, she's expressing like, look, I'm really here to work on a relationship, work things out, and to figure out and get to the bottom of why we're not working and what we each need individually. And she's over here just for a good time. So
listen here, that's how Raya did seem. Raya's the one. I'm thinking Raya should be feeling like, oh, I'm about to lose my man. But she's like, I'm looking forward to the next stage.
Yeah.
When do we get to move? When do we get to pick our person?
Yeah.
So we can live together.
Yeah. And as they're getting up and leaving, Lisa mushes Brian in the face and walks her way out.
Oh, they left us on a cliffhanger?
Yes, and that was the end of episode 1.
Listen here, man. This season seemed like it's about to be lit.
Already. Jesus.
And listen here. You even said it yourself privately. You said, listen here, if I was on the show, you probably would have been acting like Lisa so far to this point. Basically, like, I don't want you connected with nobody. Well, if it was your choice, we wouldn't be on the show.
Right.
In the first place.
And listen, I'm not condoning Lisa's behavior and her physicality and all that type of stuff. But look, I'm ready to go. Okay. I've said it multiple times. You're not hearing me. Maybe I got to raise my voice a little bit.
You ain't got to mush me in the face, though.
No, definitely not mushing, smacking people in the face. But definitely there's going to be some frustration when it's like, okay, it's time to wrap this up. Yeah. You're talking about let's stay and trust the process. Absolutely not. No. We're not doing that.
You heard me crying last night. You know what I mean?
It's a wrap for us.
Anything else so far on episode 1?
No, it was a good episode, and they left us on a cliffhanger. So come on, what happens next?
Come back on episode 2. They already released at least 8 episodes. We are going to give you each one as quick as possible, as quickly as we watch it. I told y'all to subscribe. Turn on that notification bell because I have no rules of when I'm going to post these videos. I may post one video at 7 a.m. your time, wherever you are. I may post it at 4 a.m. another time. I may post it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Once the editing is done, it is out. Mm-hmm. You understand? Blair, you understand?
I understand.
I'm just saying that's why it's good to post that notification bell because you may get 1 video today. You may get 3 today. You just don't know. Subscribe. Anything else on the show? Anything you want to share?
Nothing else. Let's watch it. Let's discuss.
Y'all have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.